Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jerry with Bears Talk, and today we're going to be talking about a recent report from Tony Pauline that if the Bears end up staying at 9, that it is very likely that they would take a pass catcher, and it would be between Rome Odunze and Brock Bowers. Now, I think that this, to most people, wasn't really groundbreaking news. That kind of made a lot of sense. I think you'd probably argue if Alt is there, they probably take him, or any of those top guys up there. If Neighbors were to fall instead of Odunze, I'm sure they would be fine with him. Maybe he has some sources that say Neighbors won't be there. Not sure on that, but I'm going to be talking about that today and how I think it actually could be potentially another slightly calculated move by Ryan Poles. So we'll get right into that in a second, but just I wanted to remind you to like the video. And comment down below what you think the Bears are going to do with the 9th pick, or what you think they should do. I personally think they should trade back, gain a little bit of value, unless one of these like top tier talents is up there. I think if you can make an argument for Neighbors, Odunze, or Joe Alt, but I think they should trade back and get value. And I think even if one of those guys are there, you can get some value. So comment down below, and then don't forget to subscribe. Would love to hit, the goal was 500 subscribers by mid-season. So I got a little bit of time, a lot of time actually. Be better, but let's do it by the start of the season, shall we? Yeah, let's do that. So 500 subscribers before the start of the season. Let's make it happen. Thank you. But let's get into it. So not any special news to most people, but what I think could be the underlying detail with this is, yes, I think Brock Bowers would be a nice addition to the offense. We did just pay Gerald Everett as well as Cole Kmet, so we've got a lot of money into tight end right now. Not that that doesn't mean you can't draft one as well, and I think Shane Waldron has always utilized the tight ends more than most other coaches, typically in a 2 tight end set, not necessarily a 3 tight end set, but I see reason to get one there. But what I think is even more important about this is if you look at the Bears trade back options, you could really make an argument for any of the teams from 11 through 16-ish, I would say. We'll go through them real quick. 11, if one of the top quarterbacks is there, you could definitely see the Vikings making a trade up to 9 to try to, because knowing the Bears could trade back with any of the teams behind them for a quarterback. The Vikings could make that jump. I don't think it happens just because it's interdivision. But then the Broncos could also be trading up for a quarterback. Don't have a lot of draft capital, but they could make it happen. And if one of those top quarterbacks is there, they might think it's worth it to trade a first-round pick as well, and maybe ask for a late-round pick next year or something back from the Bears to make that trade. Even I believe that they don't have a second-round pick. The Broncos, but then the Raiders also could be trading up for a quarterback. And then at 14 and 15, you have the Saints and the Colts, who they could be trading up for a wide receiver in Rome Odunze if they're there. But the one team that you haven't really been talking about is the Jets, who pick at 10, one behind them. What did the Bears do last year that we didn't expect? They trade back one spot just to acquire a 4th-round pick, but that 4th-round pick ends up turning into Keenan Allen. So I think this could be in line for Ryan Poles to help generate more trade value at that position, because you've got another team that is now in the running. And if the Broncos or if the Raiders just got Michael Mayer, so they're probably not going tight end, but even could make an argument for the Saints. There's a few teams there that could be wanting to solidify the tight end position. So if somebody wanted to make a trade up, or the Jets are worried that the Bears are going to take him. So again, that's another reason that benefits. That gives more the reason that the Jets would give value to trade back. And if they are trading back one spot, they're still getting whoever they want. Unless this is a situation where like Joe Alt was there, they really want Joe Alt and they trade back a spot, the Jets probably take him. But even then, they still get Bowers or Odunze. So it's kind of a win-win for the Bears there. And I think that could be why, like I said, I don't want to read too much into it. And I have made a few videos recently kind of with me trying to read into the details and see, could this mean more than just, Odunze and Bowers are favored? Because most people would say, yeah, of course Odunze is. But Bowers, to be, he'd probably be the tight end too, starting out, which even then, that's not great. Like to get a guy that's that talented to be in the second at his position. Now, like I said, I think Shane Waldron would be one of the best people to find a way to utilize him on the field, and he is built more similar to a wide receiver. Gets a lot of George Kittle comps. So he could be utilized as a wideout. Even Travis Kelce gets put out at wide receiver. So he's definitely going to be a weapon wherever he goes, and I know the Bears could utilize him that way. I just think that this is genius. If this was to get out, it really only helps the Bears because it shows that the Bears are open to taking either of those guys. Let's say Odunze and Bowers are both there at 9. Then you can trade back with the Jets. They can take Bowers. You still get Odunze. And then what do the Bears get? Probably a 4th again or something like that in return. We only have 4 picks in this draft, though, so any value would help. So I just wanted to make sure that was that information was out, because if we look at what happened last year, that was what the Bears did last year. They went, oh, you know what? We can get Darnell Wright at this spot. And I think it was kind of a cop-out, too. I think they wanted to trade back farther and still try to get Darnell Wright. But I don't think any of the teams were willing to. So could this be a part of a backup plan where unfortunately, the Vikings, Broncos, Raiders, Saints, Colts none of them want to trade back, or none of them want to trade up or are willing to give the value that you want. Okay, well, the Jets. Hey, you said you wanted Brock Bowers, who, again, right now is the odds-on favorite to go to the Jets at 10. If you look at any sports books, it's around plus 200. He is the top favorite to be picked at 10. So if the Bears say they want him at 9, Brock Bowers is like the 6th or the 7th favorited to go to the Bears at 9, I think that even could be a decent bet. If you wanted to put just like a couple bucks on Brock Bowers to go 9th overall, I definitely could see the Jets trading up. I don't think they would be trading up for a tackle, and I don't think that they're going to be able to get Alt if they're trading up just one spot to 9. So I think that really would scream Brock Bowers. And again, I don't want to read too far into it, but I think this is valuable information that we need to keep in mind. And just another very smart move from Ryan Poles. But I do like from Tony Pauline Odunze or Bowers. If we get either one of those, it is going to be a great help for Caleb Williams and the rest of the offense next year. So I'm totally in for that. But let me know what you think down below. Is that more? Am I reading too far into it again? Do you think that this is a smart move that was leaked out, purposefully a little bit by Poles, or is this just some guy that said, oh yeah, the Bears want somebody that's talented at catching for their rookie quarterback, which very well could be what it is. But let me know down below. Thank you for watching, and bear down.